Hey, welcome back. This is Coach Wendy at Change Agent Careers. This is video number 4 in the multi-part career change series. Today I'm going to be talking about industry change. Industry change is characterized as moderate to high risk in the career change matrix. And it's interesting, over the past 6 years that I've been coaching, I've probably seen 60 to 70% of my clients hire me because this is where they are in the career change matrix. And the reason why they've worked with me is because of the risk associated with the change that they're considering. So let's talk a little bit about what makes up an industry change and what are the risks associated with it. So, most of the people that I've worked with that have come to me in this particular quadrant of the career change matrix is because they have been in an existing role with a nice career trajectory over the past 15 or 20 years, but they've just gotten to a point where they're burned out on their career. And they've reached, fairly modest level of success. They may be a director, a VP, senior manager in that position, in that role, and they're making a 6-figure income. And so now they think, gosh, I really don't want to give up all of the perks and the benefits and the prestige of that title and everything that goes with it. And I certainly can't take a step back in my income right now. So what can I do, and how can I translate my skills? And then they arrive at industry change, right? So they're burned out in their current industry. They want to make more of a lateral move, which represents a little bit easier transition maybe than they think. And so industry change is one of the most popular transitions that I coach folks through. Usually they already have a strong interest in another industry already. One of the things that I work with my clients on is making sure that they're choosing the right career for the right reasons, and flushing out the details of what it's like to work in that industry is really important. I'll be talking about that in another video series, so stay tuned for that. So let's talk a little bit more about why this is a moderate to high risk change. Well, number one, the reason that many of the clients have hired me over the years is because I really specialize in the career exploration phase of the process. And that is making sure that, again, that they're choosing the right career for the right reasons. Then after we've gone through that process of discovery and making sure that they're headed in the right direction, then what we have to do is we have to learn, or I have to help them and show them how to translate their existing skills and competencies from their current career into that new industry. Obviously, some of the most popular tools that we would use are going to be the resume, the cover letter, the LinkedIn profile, other social media profiles, really the overall career story, and of course, networking skills and interview skills. So what I do and how I help my clients is really help them reposition and repackage their existing skill set and translate it so that when the HR manager or the hiring manager is looking at their resume or taking a look at their career profile online, that it's very clear and easy for that person to view or take in that career story and answer the question in their mind that they're thinking, where would I plug this person in, right? If it's not obvious, I said this in one of my other videos, a confused mind always says no. So if it's not really easy for that person to understand how you can plug in your existing skill set into the role that they need filled, they're just going to bypass you and go on to someone else. So that's where I come in as the coach, working with my client to help them translate that skill set. So the risk associated with this type of a change is that, if you move into this new industry, but you don't have enough knowledge about the current demands of the market, and you don't understand what it really means to be in that position in that industry, you could really be setting yourself up for some pain and misery and certainly some disappointment. So I spend quite a bit of time working with my clients to answer some of those questions and make sure that they understand, what are the demands in the marketplace? What are the demands in that industry that may be different from what they're used to in their most recent role in the other industry? And then, of course, you have the unpredictability of the number of opportunities that could be available to you in that industry, right? If you don't have an obvious background in that industry that translates very easily, then, you're not going to have as many opportunities available to you. And it will take a little bit longer, maybe a lot longer than you're expecting, to be able to make the transition. So that's another risk associated with it that unfortunately many people don't take into account. We go through all of this discovery and do all of this work to learn what the right industry is, and in fact that industry is going to represent a great fit for your existing skills and competencies. And, my clients are all gung-ho and they're excited, and we've got their fresh new overhauled resume, and we've got this great career story on their LinkedIn profile, and they've got, all the interview coaching and networking training, and they launch on their job search, and then 3 months goes by, and 6 months goes by, and 9 months goes by, and they're still having a hard time getting interviews and getting job offers. And the reality of it is that has nothing to do with me as their coach. That is simply, that's the state of the hiring market right now. It's really difficult for people to make an industry change, sometimes even when they've worked with a great career coach who has helped plug up any question that the person reading the resume or the LinkedIn profile may have about how they can plug in that person's skill set. There's just nothing we can do about that, folks, and I'm sorry that I don't have the magic wand or the magic pill that will solve that problem. So industry change is where I see a lot of clients. It does represent moderate to high risk for those reasons. Sometimes, even when someone does get hired into that new industry, even if they get hired in very quickly, sometimes the ramp-up time can take a lot longer than they expected. And so knowing that learning curve does exist, that's an important consideration to take into account when you're considering making an industry change as well. Okay, that's it for today's career change video. Thanks for joining me, Coach Wendy at Change Agent Careers, signing off. Before I go, remember, if you're viewing my video from my website, please subscribe to my blog. I post and send out one blog per week, and I'd love to have you weigh in on the topics that I discuss. If you're watching this video on my YouTube channel, I'd love it if you subscribe. Again, right now I'm only posting one blog post a week, one video a week, and trying to make it really short snippets of useful and valuable information for you to consume on your own time. Have a wildly successful day, and stay tuned for the next video on the Career Change series, which is going to be about transformation, which is considered the highest risk but sometimes the highest reward in career change. Thanks again. Have a great afternoon.